lost property tax income for Merrimack. While the cost falls squarely on our residents, our fire department, police, and emergency medical services would be expected to respond to a high-risk facility with no meaningful increase in funding. That is a direct drain on resources that are already...
Will I go first? Almost.
Good to go. Whatever's left on the counter.
Name and address you want, right?
Please.
Yeah, my name is Karen Hughes and I live. Like many of the people in this room tonight, I'm here to express my opposition to having an ICE detention center in town. Since Donald Trump has taken office, we have seen ICE sow discord throughout our country, detaining immigrants regardless of their legal status or criminal history. In fact, most recent data shows that roughly 70% of individuals currently being detained by ICE have no criminal convictions. ICE tactics in arresting individuals are callous, demeaning, inhumane, and violent. I've seen far too many videos of ICE throwing people to the ground, breaking car windows, and dragging people out of their cars, or even worse, yesterday morning with ICE killing Renee Good in Minneapolis. Merrimack is a town where we support and welcome immigrants. We do not and should not house them in warehouses where they're in overcrowded cells, denied edible food, provided with little heat, and often have to sleep on floors. We do not want to besmirch our town's name at this inflection point in history. Even putting views on immigrants aside, there's no benefits to having a detention center in town. We've seen large protests throughout the country outside of detention centers and ICE violence engagement with these protesters. Today, which is just a meeting about the potential of having a detention center in town, has drawn in many protesters outside and concerns about safety being able to get around town freely. For these reasons, I'm asking the town council tonight to request that the planning board and zoning boards consult with legal counsel and report back on how we can use, if possible, our town ordinances or amend them to help block the town detention center being built in town. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great. That was great.
Hello, my name is Carla and I live in Merrimack, New Hampshire. Sorry.
We need, you have to give your last name as well.
Carla Gutierrez.
Could you spell that, please?
Gutierrez.
Thank you. That's for the minute tape.
That's fine. I was born in Mexico, so I'm an immigrant. I was born Carla Patricia Gutierrez Dominguez. I'm gonna get a little emotional. My kids are here supporting her. Can you guys stand up a minute? I know I have 3 minutes.
You're great.
I've lived in the shadows for so long, until the age of 22. I'm about to be 46. I know how it feels, how my people are feeling right now. And I'm not saying this is the only president that has done it, or this administration. Obama still holds the record. For 8 years, I drove friends and family around for the fear. I know a lot of you guys don't understand, but I think everybody that is behind us and our people, and I know all of you guys just got the news. I think the only one that answered the phone was Nancy Murphy. She told me that she had no idea what was happening. This is not the kind of news Merrimack wants. I lived here since 2018, and I met so many of you guys. I've served so many of you guys. I used to own a restaurant in here that is still the Mexican Wendy's. I was one of the original owners. That's how everybody called it. But I just wanted you guys to meet an immigrant. We're not here to do anything besides work. We're here to pick your food for very little money in hopes that there's some sort of reform like the 1985 of Ronald Reagan. Yes, Ronald Reagan. I had a speech and I just threw it out the door because of what happened yesterday. As a naturalized American citizen, yesterday it was even more fear. They killed an actual American-born citizen. So that brings me to a little bit more of warning. I have two boys, young, 16 and 18. I don't want to expose myself, but you're not going to quiet me down. I'm still going to be here, I'm still going to speak, and I'm still going to inform my people. All I ask you guys is to really think. Merrimack, we're neighbors, we're friends. This is not what we want. Thank you.
Woo!
Wendy Thomas. Just wanted to give you an update. We had hoped for at least 1,000 people in this demonstration against a possible ICE facility in Merrimack, and the official number is 1,200.
Woo! Just get in.
Hi, my name is Bridget Boyle. It's B-O-Y-L-E. My father-in-law immigrated to this country because his father brought him here because Nazis were chasing them.
Right.
I am an Irish American. None of my grandparents were born here. All of them came here because Britain kicked them out. They had nowhere to go. We were your pickers 100 years ago. We were your farmers. We were your maids. We were the spat upon. Irish need not apply.
Yeah.
Advertisements in our newspapers. We will not go back. I will not let you be destroyed. I will be here, and I will not stand for this. Our country was founded on immigrants. You walk through that hall, and you see nothing but old white guys. But they were old white guys who loved immigrants. And ICE is putting us up for a possible legal actions our town cannot afford to pay, because that's where it's going to hit us. Because Trump doesn't care. That administration will be gone. The lawsuits that get put against our town because of a detention center will be enormous. I don't think we can pay that. We argued for days about special needs education. We argued about whether music is important in our schools. And you're gonna let a detention center come here because it might be income? What about the liability? We don't have to be for immigrants. We just have to be litigious. Has anyone looked at what this is actually going to be like? I don't think so. I'm proud to be here. I have lived in this town for 20 years. I have raised my children here. I've paid taxes here. I've helped people. My house burnt down in 2015, and many of you helped me. I wouldn't have been able to recover without half of your generous donations. Where is that generosity today? If you have great-great-grandparents who weren't born here, you're also an immigrant. Thank you for your time. I yield my faith.
Woo! Yeah.
Hello, I'm Olivia Fifield. Let me know if you want to start. I've lived in Merrimack pretty much my whole life. I actually remember when Rosemary Rung ran for like school board, I think, during the Christian Coalition situation. So we've had some embarrassing things happen in this town's history, and I remember all of it because I grew up here. I graduated from Merrimack High School in 2003, and now I am a proud homeowner here and pay a heck of a lot in taxes. It's like $13,500 a year. The one thing I want to say, although I am vehemently against the detention center, I stand for people like you and your family, and I'm disgusted to see the division in our country right now. The one thing that I feel like would be helpful to focus on is what kind of unites us in times like this, and that would be the logistical nightmare that the detention center would pose for the town, and really trying to, from a business perspective, parse through what our town has, like how do we have a say with what the federal government can do and bringing the detention center to our town, and what do we do if Kelly Ayotte is for bringing the detention center to our state, and what happens with our fire department, what happens with our police officers, and how understaffed we already are, and how we can't seem to come to an agreement as far as overtime with the little staffing that we already are trying to make work, and really trying to figure, I know that you guys don't have an answer today, but I would be very, very interested to try to figure out what this would look like as we move forward. Thank you.
My name is Catherine Rosser. I'm for 23, almost 24 years, I've called Merrimack my home since I was 7 years old. I have a husband that's in the Philippines, and in maybe a month or two time, I'm going to start the paperwork to bring him here so that he can call Merrimack my home. I feel like building this facility is going to make him feel unsafe, and I feel like other people are feeling the same way. I mean, immigrants, ICE isn't just after illegal immigrants, they are detaining legal people. They are shooting and killing they shot and killed a legal citizen. And I, for one, would not want to bring him to this town if this is gonna be built here. I don't want to put his life at risk. And I have two people that live with me that certainly wouldn't feel safe here either, because their parents were also immigrants here too. I think that I can speak for a lot of people, and that this will disrupt the peace in our town. And I feel like I grew up in a very relatively safe place, and I feel like with them there, how can I trust that they're not going to start detaining people, residents here? I, for one, would not want to live here anymore if that were to happen. This is my home, and I want him to call this his home too. Thank you.
My name's Tim Fisher, Fischer. Like a previous speaker, my family came here from Ireland. They were no longer welcome in their home country under British rule, and they sailed to Canada, which was another British territory at the time, and then came in through the back door. That means that basically when it was dark enough at night, they walked into Maine and kept going until they got to Boston, where they found other people that sounded like them. That means that I am a descendant of illegal immigrants. And I do have to say, though, that I question the legality of any immigration on land that was stolen. But maybe that's for another time. We've heard a lot today about the economic and traffic impact that this facility would have. We were told about the strain it would place in our emergency services. As a resident of Merrimack, I am here to say that those concerns are irrelevant when one remembers that this so-called processing center is simply a human warehouse. It is the ghetto people, and let me say that again, people are being sent to before being sent to the concentration camps that we call detention centers in this country. Merrimack is a town that puts people first. We heard that from another speaker already tonight. We are a community full of care and love for our neighbors. I ask that this council do everything within their power to stop this center from being placed here, and I ask my fellow residents here and anyone watching this proceeding to continue to fight against the use of a masked gang of thugs to detain human beings in subhuman conditions. Thank you.
My name is Brandon Villa. I'm one of the younger people in this room, and I just want to first start off with the fact that I'm a first generation American in my family, and I'm very inspired by my mom coming here to give me and my brother a better life. And I just want to kind of highlight that me being, you know, younger than everybody else here, I still have concerns about stuff like this because I feel as if it could directly impact me or any of my friends that, you know, look a certain way. And it's just, I just don't want to have to live with that kind of fear because I feel as if Merrimack is a beautiful town. It has amazing people in it. You know, I'm a student at Merrimack High School. I think everybody's amazing, but even still there, I face, you know, comments from peers and discrimination and stuff like that that just kind of goes unnoticed. So it's just kind of worrying, and I know it's not saying much, but you know, you guys can't do much about what I'm saying right here, but I just want to kind of highlight the fact that all of this impacts everybody in the community, and you know, my family is full of immigrants. I wouldn't want anything bad to happen with that, with them, and I'm just gonna end with that. Thank you.
First wanted to thank all of you for listening to all of our comments. I know that it is not on the agenda, and that you guys, that in general you have all been very transparent about letting us know when any information that you have, which hasn't been anything but response, and not leaving it in silence is helpful and keeps the transparency, so thank you for that. I wanted to say I've lived here for almost 39 years, and I have chosen to raise my kids here because I wanted them to have the kind of upbringing that I had, and I know that there's nothing you guys can do about it right now, but I think that it is important that we hear and talk about the impact that this would have on our children and our students. You just heard a young gentleman speak about the impact it has on him, and our kids are watching right now. They're watching how you respond, they're watching how we respond, they're watching how we talk to each other about everything going on, and I wouldn't be okay with being silent and with allowing things to go unjustified. I think with how it affects our children, it is also going to have an impact on our our ability to provide resources. We are working on a 2-year default budget, and I can't imagine how much this would strain our resources to have something like what's going on outside tonight happen on a regular basis. So I think that there's a lot of different ways that this would impact our community, and I thank you for taking the time to listen to us and being transparent about what you know. Thank you.
Hello. Hi. I'll figure it out, don't get me wrong. My name is Kevin Cosgrove. The last time I spoke, it was the Great Chicken Debate, and I seem to remember the town council hoping that the next time there would be as much interest and that the room would fill up as quickly. And I'd like to know if the town council has a cursed monkey's paw that they'd like to get rid of, because it seems that you have found yourself in another situation where everybody's angry at you and there's really nothing you can do. If I remember right, in the chicken debate, someone told us that it was mostly up to the state anyways, that our laws weren't binding. And as I said before, we cheerfully ignored them and continued talking and deciding for ourselves, because that is what we do. Hello, if you're not from Merrimack, this is Merrimack. It's wonderful. We're a highly energetic and happy group of people, but we have very deep feelings. And if we're not in our yards, we're watching you from the windows, and we're remembering what we did. And that goes for lots of things. It can refer to the town policing. they rely on the community to be open and to talk to them. And this seems like there's going to be some friction. That's going to require a lot of leadership and navigating and listening to the town people. And I just hope that we continue to have a good relationship as citizens of the town and non-citizens of the town with our town council. And I would just very much hope to see our voices represented. Thank you very much.
I've lived here since 1972. Went to Merrimack High, and I was thinking about our country is going to have its 250th birthday soon. Yay! And it's not just about fireworks, it's about us being here as a community and saying that an ICE facility is not how we want to be. My family told me, "What are you doing there? Leave. You could get killed." Can you imagine that? In our little Merrimack? And they're serious. Because guess what? It could happen. We've seen it. So we really want to bring that to when we say there's nothing we can do, they're banking on us feeling that way. Well, guess what? I'm here. Me standing out there tonight was saying, no, there is something I can do. I didn't have a sign. I had a red coat on, and I thought, I'm not red, I'm blue. I even thought about it that I can't wear red. I'm a first-generation immigrant, too. I got made fun of. My brothers got beaten up. We know what we have in our country. That does not belong here. Don't underestimate the power that you have. Maybe our governor doesn't know or doesn't read the news like people in Merrimack. We're highly educated, highly political people, aren't we? Dang right we are. Okay. Maybe we should let her know what's going on. Okay? And it's not to disparage our own police, because I'm one of those people who looks out the window and I call when cars are at the park across the street. We love our law enforcement, our firefighters, and all of you. You're what makes Merrimack so great. You have the power to have a voice. You've seen so many people come here tonight. We don't want this. Help us make sure that it doesn't happen. Thanks.
Thank you. You said that the press could speak, but I wanted some of the people from the town to speak first. My name is David Bacon. I'm from the David Feldman Show. And I just wanted to say, you know, the one thing that's, I mean, I don't want to say plus or minus about this whole containment center that wants to be built, because, I mean, my gosh, the things that ICE have been doing, it's just been so beautiful, because they've just been removing the worst of the worst. I mean, look at this family. All I want to say is get the fuck out of the town. I mean, come on. What are we doing? Is this even a real thing in this America today? I want to, you know, I'm adopted. I don't know where I'm from. I don't know who my parents are. I know. The guy was telling, but he said it was like about being too tall or too short. He did. I'm just right. I don't know where I'm from. I don't know if my parents are freaking from Mexico or from where. I have no clue. I could be Jewish. It doesn't. We're going to lock people. We're doing it wrong. We're doing it wrong. And whatever you guys can do to freaking stop it, do it. Put yourselves in danger, because that's what we have to do. Thank you. I'm sorry.
I'm here tonight because this facility represents a grave violation of human rights, and beyond that, the harm it inflicts inflict upon our town and our community is undeniable. How would a facility like this affect our local community? Merrimack is home to around 27,000 people, with census data showing that most households are owned and owner-occupied, and an average of about 2.7 people per household. This is a town of families. Roughly 22% of residents are children under 18. We are home to people's lives. Their kids go to school here. My sisters go to school here. They are growing up here. Is this the best location for a detention facility? And another concern I would like to raise is regarding the potential location itself. If we are, I know the details are not known at this time, but given ICE's interest in acquiring warehouses, a likely candidate has been stated as the Anheuser-Busch Brewery at 221 Daniel Webster Highway. The brewery's upcoming departure from Merrimack would leave a warehouse among other infrastructure, which ICE could use as one of their facilities. The location is right off of the currently under construction Exit 10 as part of an Everett Turnpike widening project. This takes a highly traveled and utilized route that connects the state capital to the state's southern border. The turnpike through Merrimack has already experienced high volumes of traffic, and there are daily bottlenecks at every exit in Merrimack, with the traffic backing up all the way to Nashua. A facility such as this is intended to move detainees regularly in and out of the area. This level of activity would only further disrupt traffic on both the Turnpike and Daniel Webster Highway, with the latter being an important road for traveling throughout Merrimack. Many businesses and shops are there. Needless to say that this additional traffic would impede the daily commute of residents living here. Not only that, but within that location, within 5 miles is the Merrimack Middle School. Less than that is the Merrimack Elementary and High School. Daycare centers, community centers are even closer. Placing a detention facility near schools and family-focused areas raises serious concerns about safety, traffic, and the overall environment for children. It would also affect property values, deter future investment, and alter the town's character. These are not just statistics. They represent the families who chose Merrimack for its community and its quality of life. We should ask, does this align with the vision we have for our town's future?
Good evening. I'm Ryan. I've been in Merrimack for about 20 years now. I moved up from the Boston area to move my, or start a life for my children, or my unborn children at that time, to a nice city in New Hampshire. And I think I picked a good one. And over the years, I've seen this change. I'm going to talk about 2 points, and I just want you to figure out which one hits home more for you. I'm going to talk about the human side of what I see going on in the business side. Because really, one side's got to hit you, and one side's got to be logical, but something's got to strike you. I have a lot of friends who I stand by, because a lot of us come from immigrants. A lot of us. A lot of our family come over, and maybe we were just lucky at the time that they came off the boat at the right time. And I guess thank God, because Irish need not apply. We were kicked around. We were the dumb, stupid, sitting right next to the black people. No one wanted us around. We were the hookers. We were the cleaners. That's what we did, because that's what we were good for. And that's it. At that time. It's changed. How is the finger now pointed at such an amazing group of people, wherever they come from, that just want to come here and make a better life for their family? Is it saying that everybody is perfect? Absolutely not. But neither are these ICE agents. And we've seen that. The humanity side is seeing these people and seeing what our ancestors did bring us here, and where they were and where we are here now, because none of us would be here if it weren't for that chance that they took, and for the timing, that the fact that these laws weren't in place back then. And I think if anybody looks at those tests that are going on right now and the process to try to become a citizen, it is not easy. And I guarantee if most people in this room actually try to look at this test, I guarantee most of us wouldn't even pass that test. When I hear people try to tell me, why can't they just pass these tests? Most Americans I know that have asked these questions, they would fail it within 2 questions. On the other personal side, I've had my children in these voting booths with me since they've been little. They're 16 and 17 now, and they've gone through the school system. I was so proud to bring them to the voting booths with me, to see, look, we're in Merrimack, let's listen what we would do, and we vote for our town councils and everybody in our town. It starts at the town and goes all the way up. I don't want to go back to them and tell them that my town people that I picked told me that I can't do anything. Sorry, lady, go home. There's nothing we can do. If the humanity side doesn't work, look at the business. We don't have enough money for this. Look at the controversy it's causing around the country. We've already had controversy. We were the laughingstock when we had voting, and David Muir put us on there with the 3-mile traffic heading out from the high school.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you can wrap up because you've been 3 minutes.
We had the 3-mile traffic coming out here. I don't want to be the next chapter in Minneapolis for us to be on here again, the laughingstock of the nation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name's Maria Lisa Gay, and I live in Merrimack, New Hampshire. I live in a pre-Revolutionary War home that was used in the Underground Railroad. I love the history of Merrimack. I love history. You know, I joked I think I'd be visited by 3 ghosts if I weren't here tonight. And I love seeing these pictures. It's the first time I've been in this room. And I think that, you know, I feel like I understand where a lot of people feel history might view what's going on today and how immigrants are being targeted. And, you know, to just give some thought as to how this may be perceived over the arc of time in our history and what can be done to ensure that, you know, the great history that we have in this town is preserved. Like others, my parents were both immigrants from Spain, and when I go back in the summers, I love to brag about how beautiful New Hampshire is and how beautiful Merrimack is, and you know, it would just feel like a real stain on our beautiful town. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brian Clovet. I'm currently, I was on my way to go on a date with my boyfriend, and I left the house, and my mom and my stepdad said they were gonna come vote against the ICE Detention Center. And so when I heard that, I know my stepdad, he likes to always go and vote, and so I was like, let me go ahead of him because, you know, they're of Mexican and, you know, Colombian descent, and me, I grew up in a first-generation Hispanic household. I may physically not look like it, but with inside, I definitely am. I grew up here in New Hampshire, but I grew up with all the Hispanic, everything. I grew up with all of it. And it just upsets me that they're outside right now protesting against something that they have the right to be here. They work super hard. They've given me a life that is, I will thank them for the rest of my life for it. I recently graduated from UMass Lowell here, so I'm very proud of that for myself as a first generation student, and to show them that I was capable to do it with them by my side, because they are strong and they have shown me what it is to be strong in a country that's constantly evolving under everything. So I'd say right now we're going through history. I would not like for history to repeat itself. What happened the other day for Naked in Minneapolis is completely horrid. What had happened with George Floyd, same thing. This is all in the same realm, and we cannot let history repeat itself. And I plead and I beg you, please do not put an ICE detention center here. It's gonna deplete our resources in Merrimack. It's gonna take away the beauty of our town, and it's gonna make people feel like they're in a prison. So I plead and I beg, do not do this. It's gonna make our futures a disarray. I'm very upset with the state of our democracy, and I'm glad you guys have given us the opportunity to be here to talk to you guys, and you guys have been very patient, so thank you to everyone here. But I just plead that that does not happen. I do not want to live in Merrimack if this happens. I do not feel safe living here. I do not feel safe if my mom and stepdad have to live in a town where there's an ICE detention center. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Enrique Mesa. I am practicing for the last 20 years. I was very surprised when I read the Washington Post article about Merrimack, about this facility being thought of here in Merrimack, and especially that it's going to be housing about 1,000 to 1,500 immigrants until they go to maybe Missouri. In my 20 years, I have done a lot of immigration. I've done detention work, still do detention work. But what this administration has been doing is that they are circumventing due process. They are preventing immigrants from having their day in court. And when I read this article, it really just rang in my head that this is just another tool that is being used and that is going to be in our hometown that is going to circumvent the immigrants' ability to fight for them to be with their families, for them to be in our communities. And I really, I've been living here for the last 10 years. This has been a very welcoming community. I've enjoyed living here. My kids are across the street. I was really confused when my son couldn't have his after-school care because of the protests. The reality is, we're Merrimack. We do everything very peaceful here, but the reality is what this government wants to do, especially if they move forward with this detention facility, is to circumvent the immigrants' ability for due process. And I really thank you. I know none of you, like us, we're all in the dark. Thank you for entertaining this. Thank you for hearing the community. I really appreciate it. But please, if there's anything that you can do to stop this facility, we would appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm here tonight to provide my feedback regarding the federal government, including Merrimack, on its list of possible locations for the center facility. I'm deeply troubled. We live in a town defined by its peace and its neighborly spirit. We're a community that prides itself on being a place where people look out for one another, like whether we want to or not. But a town built on the foundation of good nature. The very idea of our town being considered for such a facility is a moral crisis. I have family members who lived through the Holocaust. For us and for anyone who respects history, the imagery of warehousing human beings and industrial sites is not just a news story. It's a terrifying echo of the darkest chapters of the 20th century. History has taught us that when we begin to see people as inventory to be processed rather than individuals with inherent dignity, we have already lost our moral compass. Beyond the imagery, we must look at the reality of these facilities. They are designed to bypass the very due process of our country that was founded on. In similar centers across the country, we've seen people deny their days in court or denied access to legal counsel. To allow such a system to be established here is to admit that in Merrimack, we're willing to see the rules of justice suspended for the sake of processing human lives. The people who have been held in these facilities are human beings. To allow a facility like this to operate on our soil would be a stain onto our town's legacy that no amount of time would wash away. I ask this council to take every legislative and symbolic step necessary to ensure that Merrimack is removed from this list and that no such facility can ever be built within our borders. We must protect the character of our town permanently. I refuse to look the other way while our town is considered for this. We are better than this. Let's use our strength of our community to say with one voice, not in our town, not in our watch, not ever. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Karen Kelly. I'm 100% against ICE not being here, but I'm going to buck the trend, and I wanted to address a matter that's on the agenda tonight. RSA 4717 grants the towns and its council power to add and change ordinances. However, it can't enact ordinances that conflict with constitutional protections and can't regulate public land in a discriminatory manner. Merrimack allows RVs and trailers for events and has day-long parking for others, but it's attempting to exclude people in RVs from the use of our public parks and waterways. Chapter 183, vehicles and traffic, already has restrictions set for that. Has parking hours in parks, and it also has parking hours on streets, and it has no parking during snow removal. Lawfully parked during posted hours in a public area when there's no alternative location provided by the town penalizes and raises concern under the Equal Protection Clause, which will infringe upon the 5th, the 8th, and 14th Amendment. Selective enforcement on RVs and trailers when there's no rational basis to traffic, health, or safety in Merrimack. The United States Supreme Court recognizes a fundamental right to travel under privileges and immunity clause in due process. It also cites Shapiro v. Thompson, 1969, Sienz v. Rowe, 1999, Kent v. Dulles, 1958, and Edwards v. California, 1941. This freedom of movement, treatment, or right to travel is well established as a fundamental aspect of United States citizenship protected by the Supreme Court. Merrimack's going to lose their tourism. We already lost Budweiser and the horses. That was a great draw to this town. Campers Inn, that's a great draw. We're going to start losing business there. The outlets is a great draw. And that's pretty much all we have left. You know, and these new discriminatory potential ordinances, if they're passed, we're going to lose the attraction to Merrimack, along with the possibility of 1,500 detainees for ICE. It's also my understanding that Merrimack is a benefit of federal conservation funds. And those funds go to the park, which has protective laws. Merrimack may be opening themselves up for another lawsuit. We had one against the outlets, and that did not go well for us. We can't afford to have another one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody further who would like to address the council?
I want to say one thing. This came over, used to be 2 shot by federal agents for what you have going on out here right now.
You have to step to the mic, sir, please.
Just wanted to give information.
Yep.
Like you have what's going on outside.
What's your name?
Speak up to the
Sorry,
mic.
yeah,
Okay, sorry.
we need your name and address as well.
Rick Bowles. I'm just listening to this whole thing and what's going on outside. And I guess they had the same thing in Portland, Oregon. In the Portland, Oregon police reported two people were shot by federal agents protesting an hour ago. So this is just going to snowball. And it's just going to escalate one tragedy after another. So it's tough. Do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. That was. Do what you got to do.
Do what you gotta do. Right, so they hear. Imagine if your parents are out there right now.
Wait, we get to
and
talk
you're
twice?
fearing for their life.
I appreciate that. If nobody else would like to speak.
Thank you.
Technically, we have 15 minutes left. What I would ask is if 5 people in the room would like to give up their seats, so we can get 5
Oh, wow.
Merrimack residents.
Yeah. That's a great idea. No, but that's very nice of him. That's so nice of him to be like, hey, if 5 people go, we can get 5 new people to come in and freaking talk. That's, I mean, they've been more, that's so nice of them. He's having 5 of us speak so 5 more people can come in and talk. Really good. Wow.
Warm in there. So what's
Yep. Oh, I don't really do the Feldman show anymore. I don't even know if there's 5 people here who want to go in. I think everyone's left maybe, or they're out front, but whatever. Huh. I used to do a show that I don't really do anymore, so. But since I still have my press pass, I was like, oh, I can at least talk. Oh, there's like a few people. said they were letting 5 of us leave so that 5 people could go into speak. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I was like, hey, if all right, let's go.